You know, I'm gonna be taking a, like a short trip to Florida, my home state, in about a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. And, this story really does not raise my opinion of the state that I come from, that I literally moved to the opposite side of the country from, just a couple weeks out before my visit. Videos show angry neo-Nazis cursing and screaming slurs during march in Florida. This is just the beginning, the leader of neo-Nazi group Blood Tribe warned. Members of well, thank you for the ad. Members of white supremacist and anti-Semitic hate groups marched outside Orlando, Florida on Saturday, screaming invectives, raising the Nazi salute and yelling "Hail Hitler" and "White Power." "We're everywhere," neo-Nazis can be heard shouting in a video shared by former Florida House of Representatives member Anna V. Eskamani. Later in the footage, they yelled "Hail Hitler" while performing a Nazi salute again. Days before the march, wait, do we have, like, a link? Why is it not showing up and it's just a link? I guess we have a video of them doing this, if I open it up this way. Oh, it's because it's potentially... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense why it couldn't be embedded. Alright, here's the video of it. So this is just outside of Orlando. The people in the red shirts are the Nazis. They are not, in fact, everywhere. Oh, no, it's still going. Remember, the worry here isn't that there's so many of them. This is not a large group of people by any means for, like, a movement. Like, this is nothing. This is, like, barely a neighborhood militia. And most of these guys, I saw, like, the one video, if we can get that one as well, I'll play it. I saw the one video of, like, the like, camera pan down the highway showing all the guys lined up. And I just remember counting, like, how many of them look like they could do 10 push-ups right now. I could do 10 push-ups right now, but it's cheating because I'm light as fuck. Like, I don't need muscles to push up my currently very light weight. So it's kind of cheating on my part, but a lot of those dudes did not look like they were anywhere near the physical fitness enough to do 10 push-ups in a row. And, yeah, it was just, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I can't, I've got a fucked up arm. My arm would, my elbow would crack and pop, but I'd still be able to push through and get 10 cranked out. It wouldn't be a muscle issue, it'd be a joint issue, but I'd still be able to get through 10. But a lot of these guys don't look like they could. And that doesn't really bode well for the idea of them doing their little militia takeover of the country or whatever. Like, they think of themselves as, like, Nazi super soldiers, but we humans nowadays are quite soft and pudgy and not very tough, you know? Humans are nowhere near as tough as we used to be, just because of the nature of how high quality of living we have nowadays. So, yeah, I have a feeling they're not really going to be able to form some kind of, like, militia guerrilla tactic takeover to bring about the Day of the Rope, as they call it. For those that don't know, the Day of the Rope is like the Nazis, like, day that they're striving for. It's the day where they get to execute all the minorities and all the people who, like, you know, like them and everything. I can actually read you guys the Wikipedia entry about it, because they'll probably be talking about it later on in this article. The Day of the Rope is a white supremacist concept taken from the Turner Diaries, a fictionalized blueprint for a white supremacist revolution written in 1978. The Turner Diaries is like the Nazi Bible. It is like what they go to for, like, their idea of creating a all-white Nazi America. Written in 1978 by neo-Nazi leader William Pierce, under the pseudonym Andrew MacDonald. The novel influenced many violent right-wing extremists from the 1980s through the 2010s, including Timothy McVeigh. It's inspired quite a few terrorists. Yeah, so that's the first video clip we have. Nowhere near the most worrying. Days before the march, the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism warned it would be coming. Two extremist groups, the Goyim Defense League and the Blood Tribe are planning to gather in Florida in September 2023 for a joint public demonstration they are calling the March of the Red Shirts. The center said, that is a very good name to call yourself, as we all know what happens to red shirts, you know? Like, yeah, okay, call yourselves Red Shirts. That is a label that I am fine with you guys giving yourselves. That's it. Yep. All good for me. Nope. Yeah. No, yeah. Be Red Shirts. That's what you want. They'll be the first to go. The center said in a community advisory shared via email on Thursday. The ADL describes the Goyim Defense League as a loose network of individuals connected by their virulent anti-Semitism with an overarching goal to expel Jews from America. The organization characterizes Blood Tribe, led by white supremacist Christopher Pohlhaus, as a growing neo-Nazi group that claims to have chapters across the United States and Canada. Blood Tribe presents itself as a hardcore white supremacist group and rejects white supremacists who call for softer optics, the ADL writes. In video captured by News 2 Share's Ford Fisher, the group chanted, "Jews will not replace us and Jews get the rope." Pohlhaus appeared to lead portions of the march. When Pohlhaus yelled, "Hail the Fuhrer," others responded with, "Hail Hitler." Speaking to reporters, Pohlhaus said, "We just have to start a fire. We're the kindling. Once we set the fire, we get the fire hot, and then we get the rest of the brothers blazing." So f***ing LARPy. What a loser. This is just the beginning, Pohlhaus added later. When another reporter asked a marcher what they were marching for, he responded, "White power." Some of the marchers individually expressed their distaste for Donald Trump, saying they prefer Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Yeah, Ron DeSantis is much more of a, hardcore ideological fascist than Trump is, so the Nazis, the hardcore Nazis, have started to get behind DeSantis more recently. When right-wing figure Laura Loomer appeared at the march, recording the neo-Nazis with her cell phone, the crowd began to chant, F slur, in her direction. Loomer explained she was at the rally because she was getting her hair done nearby. "We're not voting Trump, Laura," one marcher shouted at her. "We're not voting for the right wing. It's the K-slur wing." At this, another marcher shouted, "We're all DeSantis supporters." The marcher followed up that, DeSantis and his supporters are going to claim these guys were feds. The marcher followed up his comment with, Ron DeSantis is a joke, Ron DeSantis is a joke," before the neo-Nazis gathered in Florida. News 2 Share reported on another smaller rally taking place outside Disney World, where approximately 10 people who identified as Order of the Black Sun destroyed a rainbow pride flag near the park's entrance. One marcher carried a Ron DeSantis 2024 flag, another held a sign that read, "Did you thank Hitler today?" Got another video of this. This is the state of Florida, guys.
Has DeSantis ever denounced you all? Has he ever denounced you guys publicly?
I don't believe so.
We're Ron's Holocaust Task Force.
We're his biggest supporters.
So, are you prepared? What would you do? How would you respond to Ron DeSantis?
Notice how they've got a sign with their Nazi shit in front of the Disney World sign, and this is legal. This is legal, by the way. What they're doing is completely legal in the state of Florida.
DeSantis denouncing you guys. What would you say to that?
He's lying.
If it happened.
He's trying to secure the presidency. He'll say
he's running for
he
president. He's got to fake it to make it, man.
You guys said the same thing about Trump.
Well, as we all know, in order to be a politician in this country, you have to pander to the Jews. Very simple. Israel actually gives out a document to all new politicians on how to answer the Israel question and how to stand in support and solidarity with Israel. So Ron DeSantis currently is just doing smoke and mirrors with them to act as if he is truly a friend of the Jew.
This ain't my state. I'm a Seattleite.
When in reality, he's a friend of white America. And the prominent example...
Oh, and don't get me wrong. There are a lot of Nazis just like these guys out in the rural areas outside of Seattle and Portland in the Pacific Northwest. Plenty of this exists. It just exists up in the mountains.
Most prominent example is his smoke and mirrors campaign of HB 269.
Oh, this guy is a Floridian. Look at his the Confederate flag tattoo on his neck. The red has faded out because he has such an unironically red neck from the sunburns and the skin damage from Florida sun. the red of the Confederate flag tattoo has faded into his normal skin color. You can't even tell, but that tattoo denotes to you this guy wasn't always red.
HB 269, he signs in Israel. Think about that for a second, folks. You have an American, a United States governor actually in Israel signing a bill that is going to govern the people of America. Not the people of Israel, the people of America. And of course they instantly went off and, oh, well, this is the greatest thing. This is going to stop X, Y, and Z. And then after it was said and done with, it didn't stop anything. The Jews have come to realize that Ron DeSantis isn't the guy they thought he was. They've come to understand that he is truly out for what is in the best interest of white America, because he knows that white America is the only way America can still sustain itself and prosper.
Nah, I think red's a cringe color. Like, as far as political ideology, I think blue's better. Blue is like the universal, like, good guy color, and red is the universal bad guy color. Let the Nazis have red, let the Republicans have red, let us be blue. Blue is like the universal good guy color. I don't care.
Did you guys like President Trump?
No. Well, he's a put.
We literally can color code who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. Okay? Don't take that away. No, that's a cringe take, Zan. Nope. Nope. LARPing commies. Nope. Release yourself from your attachment to commie aesthetics, okay? Hammers and sickles are cringe and gay, alright? The red commie flag, cringe and gay, okay? None of that shit is necessary for you to have based political opinions, okay? You don't need to have any of the, like, hyper-communist, aesthetic, cringe LARPy to be a lefty, or to believe in worker rights, or to believe in liberation of the proletariat. None of it is necessary. It's only cringe, and it only puts people like me, who literally agrees with you, off. No. I think it's all cringe. Wait, is the hammer and sickle actually tanky or Marxist? Well, tankies love it, but, like, all commies love it. I don't like the hammer and sickle shit. I don't like the... I don't like the appropriation of, like, symbology like that unless it has, like, a very clear, like, history and meaning, you know? Like, when you talk about the hammer and sickle, that was literally the flag of the Soviet Union, and you're now trying to make it the flag of communism, too? Can you not see how stupid that is? Contrast that to, like, the pride flag, which is its own thing, that was made specifically to represent, like, gay pride, like LGBT pride. And even the progress flag, which was a moderated version of the pride flag, specifically meant to represent progressive values. And as much as you may hate the progress flag, I live in Seattle, and those are everywhere. Those progress flags have replaced every single pride flag. I have not seen a normal, non-progress flag pride flag in, like, a year. I went from Palm Springs to Seattle. There are no normal pride flags. It's all progress flags now. I love the progress flag. I think the colors clash a little iffily, but it's grown on me much more. Exactly, hammer and sickle was representing peasants and factory workers in 1917 Russia. I know the meaning of it. I get it. Although it's ironic as fuck considering that the like peasant farmers were forced to become factory workers, and that's what caused the massive famine that was then used as an opportunity to starve out and cause an ethnic genocide against the Ukrainians and other ethnic groups within those Russian states at the time that the Soviet satellite states at the time that they wanted to fuck over. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what it represents. Like, there doesn't need to be a symbol that represents communists. And if you make a symbol to represent your cause, unless it is a cause nobody but the most awful people want to associate themselves with, it will be co-opted and used, okay? Like, unless it is very clear what the symbol represents, what it means, and where it comes from, you should, like... I don't know why I have to explain to you guys why the hammer and sickle shit is cringe LARP.
Pussy, he didn't do anything he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And if you vote for him again and he gets in, he's not going to do anything. He married all of his kids off to Jews.
Because he knows the system.
Yeah.
He knows the Jews have the power, so marry off your kids and keep that power.
He's another politician. He fucking jerks you off until you vote for him, and then he doesn't do shit for you.
We're Ron DeSantis supporters. You like Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, he actually does shit for us.
Okay, can you explain it one more time why you like Ron DeSantis?
I've already explained it like 8 times.
Yeah, okay, why?
If you were elected president, what would you like to see him do, policy-wise?
You should shut down Disney World. It's run by kikes and pedophiles.
I got it. he should build a gigantic fire tornado generator and drop the communists in by parachute.
Yep.
One thing that Nazis have in common with the conservatives is their hatred of communism. Interesting. Anyway, yeah. Communism's good. Like, I mean, I like it in theory. I mean, I'm not, like, ideologically opposed to communism, but I hate the way people LARP about it. We got some more clips here as well. It goes on a while longer. We are not done.
Allied with the other groups in Florida? Like,
wait, Zan, you're literally wearing a red shirt? Yes, but okay. Yes, that's obviously what I meant.
Honestly, I'm just curious about like the rift or whatever.
Well, there's really not a rift. They do what they do. Obviously, we do.
Is that Caitlin Bennett? I don't know why, but I just feel like that's Caitlin Bennett. It's already, like, Caitlin Bennett's been outed as a Nazi, and looking at her now, it's like, that looks like Caitlin Bennett wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a skull mask. Because I know what Caitlin Bennett looks like in sunglasses. She wears those same ones, same hair, same body type, same nails, I bet. I'm pretty sure those nails are the same. I think this might be Poo Poo Bennett, the girl who shit herself.
Oh, we do.
It's kind of like politics.
Okay.
Yes.
You support anyone that's pro-white,
Yes,
I'll say that.
exactly. There isn't a rift.
Does she sound like Caitlin Bennett? Not exactly.
Yes,
say that.
exactly. There isn't. Oh, we do.
It's kind of like politics.
Okay. You support anyone that's pro-white,
Yes,
I'll say that.
exactly. There isn't a rift.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have a high enough voice and doesn't talk as slow. So just another one of those, like, blonde bimbo Nazi chicks that's being, like, produced in a factory or a lab somewhere. Like, the Institute is, like, under the ground producing these women on, like, an assembly line.
Between one side or the other, there isn't a fracture within the white power movement. Those is out trying to save our race. Not at all. There is no rift. They do their things, we do ours. Everybody has to do the way they see it. That way we can make the biggest impact and guarantee the survival and advancement of the white race.
Every group has their own thing. Like what we do today, this is OBS, this is 14 First, AFN, we're all coming here together today. Whatever works for these other groups, as long as they're getting out.
Look at that guy with his, like... Is that, like, an SS cape? This guy's wearing a cape. And he's got the Mjolnir medallion, too. This guy who, I'm not gonna lie, looks pretty brown. Wearing the cape, the medallion, and the, that hat. The hat that Nazis love, and like Chuds Online love to wear. I'm pretty sure it's like a Confederate hat. God.
Now the pro-white message, we're all there for it.
Seriously though, look.
I'll tell you what the difference is between a white nationalist and a Nazi, all right? Yeah. A white nationalist is somebody who wants an all-white country but isn't willing to do what it takes to get it. A Nazi is somebody who wants an all-white country and is willing to do what it takes to get it.
Okay. Well, there we go. We got ourselves a little vocabulary lesson there. We'll be sure to keep that in mind going forward. So yeah, this is basically the state of Florida. Ron DeSantis has, of course, not denied support from those people. And he has obviously made it completely legal for this to happen. In fact, this is just sort of an escalation of events that have been going on for a while across the country. Yeah, so this story should really give you an idea of why the Nazis are allowed to do this in Florida.
Police are also investigating an apparent act of anti-Semitism in South Florida that has left a Boca Raton community on edge. Several neighbors were shocked when they found these hateful messages. They were packed inside of a plastic bag right outside of their homes. Witnesses say someone in a pickup truck targeted neighborhoods right near Dixie Highway and US 1 on Saturday. Inside of the Ziploc bags, anti-Semitic flyers and what appears to be pellets. Neighbors are not only worried about the hateful messages, they're also worried about the contents inside of those packets.
I just don't like that kind of hate around our neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
just so
touch
worried
those
because
things.
in our neighborhood, we have a lot of dogs, a lot of people who walk their dogs.
Like, the pellets make me think, like, what is that, a medium for anthrax or something?
And we have a lot of kids, toddlers, and who knows what's in there.
Well, investigators say that the pellets inside are not toxic, but the disturbance comes amid a rise of anti-Semitic...
They look like fire pellets. They look like the pellets you put in, like, into a fireplace. Is it like supposed to be like, oh, you'll burn, and so they put like pellets for a fireplace in there?
Anti-Semitic incidents, with the Anti-Defamation League reporting a 50% increase in anti-Semitic acts over just the past few years.
Yeah, that wasn't even the story I was thinking of. Hold on. I originally saw this video on Twitter. Does anybody have, like, the story from when those Nazis were projecting, like, anti-Semitic up onto the side of that, I'm pretty sure, Florida synagogue? It was a big synagogue building that had, like, a big, smooth wall on the side, and some Nazis on, like, maybe 3 blocks away or something were projecting, like, massive, like, bigger than a billboard, onto the side of the building, like a bunch of anti-Semitic and the synagogue could do nothing to get it taken care of and make that stop. Because I guess light doesn't count as, like, putting from your property onto somebody else's. It's bizarre. It's some weird legal loophole that that Ron DeSantis' Florida is using to allow this to happen. I don't know. I'm trying to find the story, but people in the comments section, when this comes out as a video, if you could link it, that would be helpful. I can't, unfortunately, use Twitter because, banned. You know how it is. Members of the group Near Disney also bashed Trump, with one saying the former president, he's a pussy. He couldn't do anything he said he was gonna do. And if you vote for him again, he gets in. He's not going to do anything. He married all of his kids off to Jews. We're Ron DeSantis supporters, another marcher said. We like Ron DeSantis. Update from today. The original version of this article quoted a marcher as saying, we're all DeSantis supporters, without including his second remark, Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is a joke, Ron DeSantis is a joke, the story has been updated. You bet conservatives probably gave this story a bunch of shit, because they were like, no, these Nazis are just trying to make us look bad. He said he hates DeSantis right afterward. For those that don't know, that was the I disavow thing. It's basically to give DeSantis a level of plausible deniability. They're all very openly pro-DeSantis, and DeSantis is very openly pro-them. Well, not openly, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Florida is continuously on its way to hell, so, you know, when I visit there, I guess I'll have a lot to talk about, and a lot to record, and a lot to, you know, just see. There's gonna be a lot of shit going down. Maybe I'll be able to go to a Nazi march and record some people when they take off their masks to drink some water. You know those guys have to, like, take a sip of water eventually, right? You guys know that, right? Like, they have to take their mask off to get some water eventually. And that's when you get their face with your camera. That's how you do it. So, yeah, maybe that could be some good content.